Hey Grace Kids, welcome back to Grace Kids TV. My name is Michael Campbell and I serve as the family pastor here at Grace Church, and it's so great that you're going to be joining us today. Today's story, we will learn about God giving 10 rules or 10 commandments to Moses. So why do you think it's important to have rules, and who gets to make these rules anyway? So today we will talk about the 10 commandments or rules that God gave his people to help them love him and to help them love each other. Now, these rules were to show that God is actually holy and sin keeps us away from God. But Jesus brings us back to himself. He never actually sinned, and we can trust him to forgive our sin. But before we get into too much of today's story, let's head over to Grace Kids Trivia to see what we remember from last week's story about the time that God provided manna. Good luck.
Question 1, true or false? Moses led God's people from the Red Sea to the wilderness, but the people started to get very hungry and complained to Moses. And the answer is true. This was true. But unfortunately, Moses did not have any food. A cloud of glory appeared, and God told Moses to tell the people that they would eat meat at night and bread in the morning until they were full. God then said, "Then they will know that I am their God." Question 2, true or false? God provided meat that night and bread the next morning for his people. The bread was like fine flakes on the ground and was called mayonnaise. And the answer is false. This one was definitely false. God did provide meat that night and the fine flakes on the ground the next morning. But these fine flakes were bread, which were called manna, not mayonnaise. Question 3, true or false? That morning, God told people to gather only enough manna for what they needed to eat that day. He said that any leftovers would go bad. And the answer is true. This was true. On the 6th day, the people gathered twice as much manna so they could rest on the 7th day, much like when God rested on the 7th day when he created the earth. God wanted his people to trust and obey him. Question 4, true or false? The Israelites traveled many years going wherever God told them to go. One day they had no water, so Moses prayed and God led them to a river to drink water from. And the answer is false. This one is pretty tricky, but it is not true. The Israelites did travel for many years going wherever God told them to go, and there was a time when they did not have any water, so they asked Moses to give them something to drink. But Moses did not have any water. So Moses prayed, and God told him to hit a rock nearby with his staff. Water came out of the rock, and the people drank the water. God was with his people. And our final question of the day, question 5, true or false? Jesus said that he is the bread of life. And the answer is true. This is true. And while this may be a little bit confusing, there's a very simple explanation. Bread and water can give life for a little while, but Jesus gives life forever.
Hi, I'm Megan and this is Jessie. Rule number 39, you must eat mangoes on Mondays. Rule number 72, socks must always be worn with sandals. Jessie, what are you doing? Oh, hi, Megan. I'm making rules for my club, the Chatty Chipmunk Club. Every club needs rules. Well, that's True, Jesse, but those rules don't seem like they make sense. What do you mean? What's wrong with Rule 12? All hairdos must have at least 3 ponytails. Jesse, I don't think you could even make 1 ponytail with your hair. Oh, good point. Rules are important, but they should make sense. God gives us rules. He created us. God knows how life works best. All God's rules are for our good. Listen to the rules God gave his people in today's Bible story. Moses and the Israelites had escaped from Egypt. They came to Mount Sinai and set up camp. God wanted to make a covenant or special agreement with his people. Moses went up the mountain. God told Moses, "Tell the Israelites this message. If you listen carefully to me and keep my covenant, you will be my people." Moses told the people what God said. The Israelites said, "We will do everything God said." Moses went back up the mountain. God told Moses, "I am going to come in a thick cloud. I want the people to hear me speak to you so that they will believe you." Moses got the people ready. God came down the mountain in a fire, and smoke covered the mountain. God said, "I am the Lord your God. I brought you out of the land of Egypt." Then God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. The first 4 commandments told the Israelites how to have a right relationship with God. Do not have other gods besides me. Do not make an idol for yourself. Do not misuse the name of the Lord your God. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The last 6 commandments told the Israelites how to have a right relationship with other people. Honor your father and mother. Do not murder. Keep your marriage promises. Do not steal. Do not lie. And do not want what belongs to someone else. Moses stayed on the mountain for many days. God gave Moses more laws. When God was finished speaking to Moses, he gave Moses 2 stone tablets. God had written on the tablets with his own finger. God gave us rules to show that he is holy. Sin keeps us away from God, but Jesus came to bring us back to him. Jesus never sinned. We can trust him to forgive our sin.
This week we are going to make a wheel that spins so that you can see all of the 10 commandments. And all that you're going to need is the printout with the 2 wheels, something to color with, some scissors, and a hole punch, or you can use a pen or pencil to punch the hole. And then you're going to need 1 little brad to put the circles together. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Are you ready? Okay, so first you're going to just color both of the wheels. going to cut around each of the wheels, and you want to be very careful. Try to stay on the outside of each of the circles. Okay, and for the one that says 10 Commandments, you want to make sure that you do stay around the black and cut out those indents. So then you're going to punch a hole into the accent to each of the centers, and I'm going to just fold mine a little bit in half, right to that middle part, and just make a little slit with my scissors. Then you're going to put the one that says 10 Commandments on top. Push the brad through the top, flip it over, and then open up the little feet on the brad, and that's going to hold them together. Make sure it's pushed down nice and firm so then they stay together. Now you can spin the wheel and you can see the 10 Commandments and the numbers. I love doing this craft, and it's going to be a great way to practice the 10 Commandments, which are the rules that God has given us to follow. And on the bottom of the direction sheet it says, the first 4 commandments show us how to have a right relationship with God. The last 6 commandments show us how to have a right relationship with people. God's rules show us that He is holy. Sin keeps us away from God, but Jesus came to bring us back to Him. Jesus never sinned. We can trust Him to forgive our sin. So please use this to share the 10 Commandments and to practice them so we really know what God's rules are. Thanks so much for watching Grace Kids TV. Have a great week.